Welcome back. With me is Jonah Crismore, the Executive Director of Cinema Center. Welcome, Jonah.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, now you're new to Cinema Center, so you've been there less than a year. Tell me about coming to Cinema Center, where you're from and what you're kind of planning to do with the organization.
Okay, well, I'm actually from Fort Wayne originally. I went to school at Columbia College in Chicago.
Okay.
I studied film there, and I kind of was all over the place for a while. I did some stuff out in LA, ended up coming back, but eventually came back to Fort Wayne. And after doing a couple of different jobs, some freelance jobs that were film related here, working at Lincoln Financial Group. I saw the position open for the executive director at Cinema Center, and I applied for it. So, it was not too interesting, but it was, I'm very fortunate to have it.
Oh, well, it's neat that you're from here to begin with, but you have been out in the world to do some other things, and you can bring that back to Fort Wayne. So, as executive director, what is it that you do for Cinema Center?
Well, my first priority is programming.
Okay.
Programming, and that includes, community partnerships and finding out programming in which we can bring the community in and have them have a say in what we, whether it's a cause and organizations trying to get a message out. It's also, our week runs, our 2-week run films are longer than that sometimes if we're lucky. I'm in charge of, getting those in. I also do quite a bit of going for funds and fundraising, and all along just kind of trying to keep the place, going and, expanding and forward thinking.
And Cinema Center has been in Fort Wayne for quite a while. It's a long-standing institution, so you probably are like, okay, you want to take care of those traditions, but also do some new things.
Exactly.
Under your tenure.
Cinema Center has been around since 1976.
Wow.
It was kind of a nomadic organization for a long time. It actually, interestingly enough, it kind of started after a theater called the Spectator Theater, which was located on the landing in downtown. After that closed, a lot of the film lovers that were involved with that decided to come together, and they took the first steps towards creating the organization, which would become Cinema Center. And so, I definitely always, everything I have planned for Cinema Center and where I want to take it into the future and take it into these next steps and these kind of uncharted waters for the 21st century, I always try to keep in mind, where the organizations come from and what were those, what was the vision of those first group of film lovers who came together to create it.
Right. Well, I kind of remember those things happening and going, wow, was it really that long ago? But I guess the time goes by. Now, you've got a big event coming up tomorrow night. Tell me about Dial O for Oscar.
Well, this is our big Oscar fundraiser. This is just an annual event, and it's a time for us to invite the community to come in and, we all celebrate our love for the movies here. The Oscars are, a lot of people say it's the film lovers kind of Super Bowl. I kind of like to think of that, it's just a big event that everybody can kind of come together. And this is our chance as, Fort Wayne's film loving public to kind of come together and really just celebrate the movies.
And what takes place at this party? It goes on for several hours.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this year. We have actually the largest silent auction that we've ever had.
Really?
And, we've had items from quite a few local businesses, organizations. The brand chocolate really came through with a great donation, so there's tons of the brand chocolate available. And in addition to that, there's also going to be some trivia, Oscar trivia. There's going to be a photo booth with a Janet Leigh signed shower curtain.
Yeah, you've really got this Hitchcock theme going as a part of this. So tell me, besides the Janet Leigh shower curtain, that just sounds kind of macabre and fascinating all at the same time.
Yeah, we also, we are having quite a few, people can come dress up as Hitchcock. We're going to have some Hitchcock trivia. We're going to have some artwork that's Hitchcock inspired, that is kind of, somehow is connected with the Hitchcock theme. And we kind of went with the Hitchcock theme because we really wanted to use this opportunity to give filmmakers who weren't necessarily they don't necessarily get the attention that they deserve throughout the year, that this is a chance for them to get that.
Well, and that kind of leads me to wondering, is that why you chose the Hitchcock theme? You know, for exactly that reason. I mean, did I read somewhere he never actually won an
Well,
Oscar?
you know, one of his films won Best Picture, but he
Okay.
never won a Best Director Oscar.
Oh, okay. So
And
that's
yeah, and that's the reason why we're actually asking our audience if they can, you know, we've had this big campaign using social media and our website and everything to have them kind of vote in on what they thought were the best films of the year. And at this party, at the Dial O for Oscar party, they'll be able to, of those 10 films that are picked, choose their favorite film.
Okay. So the this auction where you've got, you're actually selling the Janet Leigh signed
No,
Star
actually we are
Oh,
not.
that's a part of a photo booth or a photo
Yeah, it's
exhibit?
photo booth, and it's actually Larry Wardall is part of his personal collection that he's kind of putting on loan for us that we're very grateful for.
So what are some of the other items that you've got? You've got a lot of chocolate, and you've got
Yeah, we've got classes for the Fort Wayne Ballet. We've got a membership to the Fort Wayne Museum of Art. We've got tattoo gift certificates. We have comic books. I mean, we have a very wide variety of things this year. We have Hyde Brothers has quite a few gift certificates that they've donated for this. So it's really, if there's something there for everybody.
And does the auction take place over several hours?
Yeah, it will start as soon as the party starts at 6 o'clock, and it will go until 8:30.
And so you've got food and drink available as
Yeah,
well?
it is. Yes, Calhoun Street Soup, Salad, and Spirits is providing the food and drink for this event.
Well, and how many people do you expect to come?
I'm expecting a couple hundred.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful. And then after the silent auction, then you're going to show a movie.
Yeah, we're going to show actually the film that came out last year called Hitchcock that stars Anthony Hopkins and Helen Mirren.
Okay.
And it's just, you know, it seems sort of like, you know, it's that cherry on the top of the cake, you know, or for this, you know, for this event.
Is that his life story?
It's about the making of Psycho.
Oh, okay. So that's it's sort of about his life making.
Yes, exactly.
His
you know.
probably most famous movie. Okay.
And
so
all the trials and tribulations that went into making that movie, because it was quite an uphill battle for him to get that movie made.
was that his first movie?
No, it was not. But it was kind of, he was at kind of a creative, I won't say slump, but people were expecting a certain kind of movie from them, and he really wanted to surprise them, and he really surprised them with
them. So are you also at this event going to be saying who your Oscar winners are?
Yes,
your
we're
audience?
going to.
So is that part of the presentation
Yeah.
before the movie as
Yes,
well?
so, you know, we also have our trivia winners announced, and also our Best Picture. We have a local accounting firm actually coming in to tabulate the results for us.
That's a lot of fun, little envelopes
Yes,
and all
exactly.
that. Because, you know, for somebody who might not know, then when are the actual Oscars?
The actual Oscars are going to be on Sunday night.
Sunday night, so your party is a little bit in advance of that. And have you done this your own local Oscar tabulation in the past? I mean, how?
No, this is the first time for Cinema Center to try this.
So it'll be interesting to see how close you come to the actual
exactly.
winners on Sunday.
Well, I've seen the top 10 films, and I'll say that they actually they're very close to at the Academy. So I think the Academy got it right this year.
Well, that would be very good. Now, what else do you have planned? I mean, you know, we've got the party this weekend, but, you know, what else is coming up at Cinema Center?
Well, you know, as part of the Downtown Improvement District's last Saturdays, every last Saturday we have a midnight movie that we screen that's either a cult genre film or a local film. And actually, you know, Saturday night after the Saturday night after the Oscar party, we're going to be showing a regionally made zombie film, which we're really excited, called The Dead Will Rise 2. And I've been told that you don't have to see The Dead Will Rise 1 to know.
Oh, this is number 2, not T-O-O.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was made, I believe, in Toledo, Ohio, on a shoestring budget, and we're very excited to kind of, you know, celebrate this Midwest filmmaking movement that's happening right now.
It's nice to be able to have a venue to show those kinds of movies, as well as, you know, you have a lot of movies that, you know, even though they're maybe first-run movies, they're not the same movies that you would find in the bigger movie houses in Fort Wayne. I mean, how do you choose the ones that you show?
Well, you know, that's a really complicated question, but it's deceptively complicated, because it's, you know, it's kind of like curating, almost like curating an exhibit. You know, you don't want to show, you know, 2 documentaries necessarily right after, because not everybody likes documentaries. You don't necessarily want to show 2 downer movies right after, you know, each other, because not everybody enjoys, you know, those kind of movies. So you have to kind of, you know, very much try to give as much scope and variety for your audience.
And you have like regular runs. I mean, don't you? I mean, how does that work? I mean, I've seen the schedule enough to know that it's either over the course of a week or 2 weeks. You used to have several showings of a movie.
And that kind of all depends really on a distributor and what exactly it is. What type of film it is and how it's available to us. There's not to get too technical, but there's a distribution model. It's called platforming, and it kind of goes to like the cities where distributors believe that their films will be the most successful. And unfortunately, I think Fort Wayne is kind of on the bottom of that list. That's why sometimes our films we get a little bit later than everyone else. But that's okay.
Well, yeah, it's wonderful that you're here because I went to see the movie Liberal Arts, and it wasn't playing anywhere else, and I really wanted to see that. And I was just so thankful that you had it there for me to go to.
That's what we're here for.
So, what is showing currently?
Well, we're just finishing up a run of Rest and Bone. Actually, tonight at 8:30, they're going to be showing a silent film. The Phantom of the Opera with live music from the Andrew Alden Ensemble, which is very exciting. But then Hitchcock's going to be playing for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then after Hitchcock, we'll be showing a film called Hyde Park on Hudson with Bill Murray playing FDR, which really looks he's got quite a bit of buzz for that role. And later on in March, we're going to have the Oscar-nominated foreign film Amour play, as well as the Dustin Hoffman directed film called Quartet.
How far in advance do you plan? I mean, do you have to plan a certain time out, or
for our for the benefit of our members and our audience, we really try to have at least a month out. But sometimes things just don't work out that way. A film can, especially as a smaller film with a limited print, it can become extremely successful, and then that makes it unavailable to us. So we kind of have to. We try to plan out, but we also have to be ready to improvise.
And do you take requests from people?
Oh yeah, on our website,
on your website,
cinemacenter.org, you can suggest a movie, and we take all those very seriously.
Okay, so the web address again, cinemacenter.org.
Yes.
Did you say? Okay, and let's talk again about the party. When, where, what time, all of that.
It is on February 22nd. It's Friday night tomorrow. It starts at 6 o'clock, goes till 9. The silent auction will be going on until about 8:30. It will call. You can find information on tickets at cinemacenter.org. And it's where there'll be Calhoun Street Soup, Salad, and Spirits will provide food and drink, and it's going to be a great time for any movie lover.
Oh, it sounds like a very, very fun time. Thank you so much for being here, Jonah. I'm Melinda Haines with the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Be sure to watch the next edition of Arts Weekly when we chat with Michael Floyd of Windsong Pictures about their upcoming film festivals. Then T. Ermshire and Heather Miller from the Foundation for Art and Music and Education give us the details on the FAME Festival taking place March 9th and 10th. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching.
The preceding program on PBS 39 was made possible in part by
Excellence lives here in northeastern Indiana. It's reflected in more than 200 nationally recognized degrees. It drives our Division I sports. It's alive in our campus life. Excellence has a name, IPFW. Around our campus, around the country, around the world. Excellence lives here. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.